Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bailey and I am recording a little FAQ. Why do your absorbency tests take so long to get the results? And I wanted to pop on here and answer that because it's really important for you to know why it does take so long, and just so that you can understand when you see other people's numbers and if their numbers don't jive with mine. So it takes me so long to get my numbers out because I'm a mom. It also takes me so long to get my numbers out because I am triple testing everything. So that means I test the insert at least 3 times. I feel like 3 is a good number because if you do it just once, it's a theory, and if you do it 3 times, then you can see repeatable results, and that's what's important. So on the first, sometimes I get an insert that on the first absorbency test, it holds like a whopping 16 ounces, which you're like, wow, that's amazing. But if you repeat that experiment, you might never get 16 ounces. So maybe I didn't let it drip long enough, or maybe who knows? Maybe that one day, like when we're dealing with fully saturated numbers, it could be vague. So who really knows? So that's why I do things 3 times, because then we can take all 3 and combine them and come up with an average. And that's exactly what absorbency testing is. It's not science, it's kitchen science, it's pseudoscience, it's not super accurate, and my results are going to vary from other people based on their technique, their strategy, their wash routine, their water, their buildup, their everything. So that's why it's really just a frame of reference. And you can look at other people's and compare them to mine and see how they chalk up, but also know that there might be differences in our own scales based on our own methods. I also found that if I just let the insert dry on its own and then test it again, I would get radically different numbers. So I actually have to wash them each time. And this has happened to me a few times where I was like, oh, I'll just let the pre-fold dry naturally and then I will absorbency test it. But the number is radically different. It will be like 2 ounces lower. So I no longer air dry between, and I do a full wash cycle, because that's what you would actually do in real life. Like, you would actually wash the diapers between each trial. And if you have some idea about why that happens, like why do I get a radically different number when I air dry it versus washing it again, let me know. It's consistently happened to me enough times that I no longer let things air dry, and I do go through the motions of tossing it in with the wash. If I toss it in with my regular clothes, or if I toss it in with my and it's not that the absorbency is increasing, it's the absorbency increase is actually decreasing when I air dry. Seriously. So that really adds to the process. I've even tried like tossing it in the dryer to see if it's just like air drying. No, it needs to be washed again. It sounds completely hocus, right? Like, you're like, Bailey. But I've seen this happen so many times that I can't not believe it. So that's why it takes me so many times. I would question any results that aren't at least double or triple tested. And everybody has their own method to doing it. So don't compare my fully saturated numbers to somebody else's like cup pour numbers, or likewise. I also use a scale, and the scale is more accurate representation, at least for me. I find that my measuring cup was about 2 ounces off from my scale. So things to think about. Yeah. But I just wanted to come on here today and super quickly answer that question about why things are taking so long to get absorbency numbers. I did quickly release them over at Cloth Diaper Podcast for the things that I have done. I just haven't finished up the videos for. I am planning on releasing more videos in the coming weeks, and I'm working on actually expanding my video repertoire to not only include just the absorbency numbers, because I was beginning to learn that that doesn't really give you the whole picture. So I'm also going to show you how it absorbs, and we're going to do that in a couple different scenarios. So I'm going to do a pour over test this weekend, and you'll see I'll take what the diaper claims to absorb, so whatever the average was, and we'll just pour it on one spot, not back and forth. I think I messed up on one video and I did go back and forth, but that's an error. So I'm going to try to do it in one spot, because a child does not pee back and forth on a diaper. They pee in one spot. This will let you see how the liquid travels through the diaper. I'm really trying to not, well, I am giving you my opinion, but I also really want you to use my videos to come to your own conclusions and support you in making the best decisions about textiles. This stuff is definitely like advanced level cloth diapering. So if you are just a total newbie, like seriously, don't watch the absorbency videos. This type of content I think is great for those of you who are in the cloth diaper community, who are providing support to other people. If you're a cloth diaper beginner, the absorbency videos, they're not for you. If you're already overwhelmed, please click out. Don't even watch them unless you are seriously interested and fascinated, but it will overwhelm you with information. Just go watch my quick 5 tips that's coming out on Tuesday. Okay, that was my car ramble for today, because this is easier than going home, setting up my camera and doing all of that. But I wanted to answer that quick question, and if you have any more questions about my absorbency testing, I want to be as transparent as possible with you. I want to let you know as much as you possibly can, because I want this to be a very open conversation that lets you learn. This is about us learning as a collective, as a cloth diaper community, about how things actually are versus the random Pinterest graphics that float around that who knows what those are based off. I could create a very popular Pinterest graphic and it could take off. But what background do I have? You know what? End ramble, Bailey. Thank you for listening if you popped on for this, and I will see you in the next video, which is probably soon, because I kind of got a little carried away.